seriously, guys, ni hao. So many people from China have come on this app and apologized for their English.
I'm just here to say, I will always defend China.
My goodness, I'm so nervous right now because this is my very first English vlog.
You do know that the average American does not have a second language under their belt, right? Like, we do not have to study a language. In high school, we might take 2 years to study a language that is nowhere near going to become fluent. You apologize for your accent. Do you know that in America, the accent changes from the West Coast to the East Coast? A New York accent sounds a little bit like this. You get a little Southern twang, you're a little bit like this. I'm from California. I sound like American television. Don't apologize. Oh my God, you guys are amazing. And thank you once again for letting us stay on this app.
小红
This is why I think Chinese people are so nice. So, 我觉得中国人太好了，因为我可以说中文，说的不好，真的不好。我说的他们都听不懂，可是他们经常要告诉我，哇，你的中文太好了，还不错，我都听得懂。我开始学习中文的时候也是这样的，可是以前我学了法语，法国人不是这样的人，他们经常告诉我，哇，你的法语太差了，请不用法语，就用英文。所以我觉得中国人太好了，谢谢。
小红书
Hi TikTok refugees, I just want to come on here to say thank you to you guys because you may have no idea how much you've already touched the hearts of all Chinese students. As an English teacher, I walked in my classroom at usual in the morning and all my Chinese students came and asked me to help them film an intro video because normally they are not allowed to bring their phones to school. So I asked them why they had to record it right now. They said since so many of you pouring into the Rednote, they realize you are the real American friends, which means they don't pretend to be Li Hua anymore. Here we go.
Hi, TikTok friends, a big welcome. I'm Lin Yuxin, also Chinese middle school student.
Hi, TikTok friends, I'm Fan Xixiang, a Chinese middle school student. I will work harder in English. Hope to make friends with you.
Hi guys, I'm not Li Hua, I'm Ding Yunhao, a high school student in China. Welcome.
With time limited, I just posted 3 of them. If you want to make friends with all of my Chinese students, you can follow me and feel free to introduce yourself or say something in comments to encourage them. They will say and follow you next week during their winter break. Thank you guys again.
小红
I want to ask American and British friends, how do you memorize words? I started learning English in primary school and by the time I got to college, I had to memorize at least 150 words a day. Look, this is just one of the books. I've memorized all of them. Unfortunately, my English is still very bad. I want to learn English well. Please give me some good ways.
Hey guys, how you doing? These days, while scrolling on this social media, I've noticed there are more and more people making English videos or adding bilingual subtitles. That's such a good thing. But I got really annoyed when I saw some negative comments. Some people criticized others' accent or grammar mistakes, totally ignoring the content of those videos. Especially for the young girls, even if they speak fantastic English, they still get blamed. Although I haven't received those remarks, I started to doubt myself. That's the tricky part. Unlike those personal attacks, they seem harmless, but they make people start self-examining. This is a Girls Help Girls platform. So I'm gonna back up for those girls. They are smart and hardworking. Most of them haven't studied abroad. They're not even English majors. They just showed us that it's possible to learn English well in China without spending a penny. And what's more, what they are doing right now is so great. They are building bridges between different cultures and races. I understand those who criticize are not bad people. They just don't realize the harm their comments can cause to the others. And only when one day their own kids post some English videos here and receive the same kind of comments will they truly understand how it feels. At the end of the video, I want to show you the best DM I've ever received. It's so sweet. It's kind of exaggerating, but I really need it. Thank you, Scott. You just made my day. I need thousands or millions of them. The world needs more love, more kindness, right? So everyone, please just be nice.
Today when I opened up Rednote, I saw a video of a Chinese woman, who was saying how some of the Chinese people were teasing her for speaking in English, saying her accent wasn't good and any of those things. I thought she had an amazing American accent or English speaking accent. I keep trying to do Chinese, to learn Mandarin, not Cantonese at this point, but Mandarin. And I have had people say loving things and very kind. And I can't believe that people would say mean things to her for trying. Until I got a comment today that says it's hard, you should stop trying. And I don't know if that's funny or sad, but I do know I have anxiety. And I'm going to think about that forever. Like forever. So, yay.
I want to further improve my English level. I heard that watching American TV series is the fastest way to learn English. Whoa, really? Can you recommend me some good American TV series? Refugees, you are my best English teacher. Yesterday, my friends were surprised at how fluently I started speaking English and how confident I am now when I speak English. I want to say that is all because of your encouragement and guidance. I can't thank you enough. Communicating with you is the most effective English class I have.
One of the craziest things about being a Chinese American is that no one teaches you English. And so my parents didn't speak English, and they still don't really speak English. And so they sent me to school, and you start school when you're 5 in the US, and you're just expected to go there and learn English while you're in school, even though you have no idea what anyone is saying. You aren't able to communicate with your classmates unless they speak Chinese. And then they identify you, and then they put you into this program called the ESL program, a English as a Second Language program, where they give you extra classes and they give you extra help and extra homework to try to get you to learn enough English so that you can go to school. And I didn't learn English until I was 8. So I was going to school for the first 2-3 years of my life, not knowing what was going on, how to speak English, and you just are expected to read books or watch TV until you learn the language. And the craziest thing about all of this is that this is actually a really common experience for the majority of Chinese Americans, because your parents come to the US and they don't know how to speak English, and they're working and they don't have time to teach you, and usually you're probably
not that well off, and so you're just expected to figure everything out on your own. And that's definitely a very integral part of growing up in America and just having to navigate the education system yourself, even though you're just a child, or even having to translate documents like government documents or bills or paperwork for your parents. You end up learning how to be an adult at a really early age, even when you maybe don't necessarily have an idea of exactly what you're reading or what you're.
I have an important message for anyone who is learning English or trying to improve your English. Your English is much better than you think. I promise. I would say this is true for about 90% of people who tell me that their English is bad. I can assure you it's definitely not. I can't tell you how many times I hear students say, "Oh, I'm so sorry, my English is not very good," and then proceed to speak to me in pretty good English. I think one of the biggest hurdles to overcome when trying to learn English and speaking English with foreigners is confidence. And once you gain that confidence, it makes all the difference in the world. And also, don't apologize for not speaking English well enough to someone who likely cannot speak your language. Just remember that making mistakes is a part of the learning process, and I'm sure you're doing a.
Hey you guys, this is a message for my fellow Americans. I know your mama taught you that if you got nothing nice to say, you will say nothing at all. So don't be rude. I watched a video from this content creator right here, and she mentioned that Americans are making comments about Chinese people's accents. You guys, you better not embarrass me on this app, I swear to God. I'm sorry, I literally just can't even comprehend that. Why would you even say anything? Like, again, if you have nothing nice to say, don't even say anything at all. We are on the Chinese people's app. Chinese people's app. They're going to have an accent. You guys, we have an accent. Don't put people down for their accent. Like, oh my God. You're not going to embarrass the rest of us Americans here that are not trash human beings. If you're going to be hateful, just go, because no one wants you here then.
小红书
Chinese netizens. If an American is bullying you or being mean to you, come tell me. I will go get them for you. I will defend you from the really mean Americans, the bad ones. Trust me, I'm really good at it. I would love.
The fact that I have to defend China in my family group chat about DeepSeek is wild. They're so misinformed. The fact that they are sitting there trying to tell me that China stole intellectual property is a farce. It's a lie. They didn't steal anything. OpenAI released beta versions of their code to the public. That's what China used to create DeepSeek. Oh, you don't have a rebuttal? You're trying to pivot now to something else? Of course you are. Let me now fact check you on your pivot and then bring it back to the original point. China's not a threat. You are just misinformed and seriously fear-mongered. My family's...
你好，早上好 or 晚上好。我的名字是 Natty. 我正在学习中文. I'm just here to say, I will always defend China. I always defend everyone regardless of the country that they come from. But seeing what international students are speaking about that happens in America, I'm sorry, I'm not surprised. America is a predominantly white country. A lot of people in America face racism, even though they were born and raised in America. And I just want to say I'm sorry, and I'm relating to that right now, not relating to what you're going through, but I see how the people are, because I made a video on TikTok, my last video on TikTok, I was defending China and told people, go to Xiaohongshu and see how it really is, because you're being fed lies and I won't have any of you talking bad. And people were verbally assaulting me for defending China. And I seen how people can actually be, and my heart goes out to anyone who was affected by people like that. I just want to say not everyone is like that, and we are living in a broken country. Canada and America are broken. People can't afford to live. The crime is high. It's not safe. Nobody is happy. TikTok is so negative and such a scary and mentally draining place. Xiaohongshu is like a heaven. You guys are amazing. I love your culture. I'm so excited to learn about your culture. I'm trying to learn the language. I absolutely love Xiaohongshu, and I love the people. All my Chinese friends and all my Chinese friends that I haven't met yet, I will always defend you guys. I'm sorry for the propaganda that has been put against China when China is running amazing and everyone in China is happy. There's no homeless. Everybody is so miserable in other countries, and I'm just here to say I love you guys, I love your culture, and I will continue to stand my ground and defend you. If you ever need me or need help, please reach out to me, and thank you for having us.
People ask me, why do you care so much about the TikTok refugees? Are you just chasing the hype? Honestly, I'm all in for this hype because whether you admit it or not, this is the first meaningful global exchange we've had since COVID-19. There's a saying, the wheels of destiny have begun to turn quietly. Live Aid during Africa's struggles, One World Together during the pandemic, Clubhouse breaking barriers in 2021, and now in 2025, as the world wrestles with deglobalization, we are witnessing the incredible story of TikTok refugees. It shows us something unexpected, that people from China and the US can connect, share, and learn from each other in truly heartwarming ways. We are more alike than we think. We all adore cats, share baby photos, and love good-looking people. Thousands of miles apart, but we cry, love, and like each other's stories the same way. For the first time, Americans see how friendly and welcoming Chinese people are, and Chinese netizens realize how curious and kind these foreigners can be. Sure, some people might feel uncomfortable worrying that our social media platforms are being taken over. Others might dismiss this as just a fleeting trend, but I believe we need to approach this with love. This wood doesn't need more realism or skepticism. We already have plenty of that. But what this world needs is not more doubt. It needs hope and understanding. See the world and then love it. As an old Chinese proverb says, 有朋自远方来，不亦乐乎. Love and peace.